Now what we are going to do today, we are going to analyze, we are going to select the most feasible, most promising one or two concept. Okay, so that is we are going to explore it today in the form of concept selection topic. And the important activity in concept selection is concept screening and concept scoring. What is the concept selection? It is what are all the various activity which has been exhibited in the generic product development process. Here it is also one of an important activity, important part in product development process. Here in this concept selection, we will be evaluating the concept with respect to what are all the activities which has been made with respect to the customer needs, with respect to the relative strength and weakness of the corresponding individual concept. From that, we are about to make some detailed investigation and select one or two concept which is been sent as an output to the next forthcoming activity in concept development process, which is concept testing or concept evaluation. We will be exploring that in the next session. So this concept is sent for further investigation or testing or again prototyping, development and so on. Okay. So here in this concept selection, we will be using a simple rating technique, simple rating method. There are plenty of methods available, and this method is most promising one, which provides a balanced output in order to make a in order to make a good decision based on selecting one or two promising concept. Okay. So always, this is it follows a structured process or a structured methods. This structured methods creates a documentation and it builds out the relative consent over the entire, that is final one or two concept which we are going to select using some standardized methodologies. So so here we are about to explore the phase of what selecting product concept. We have seen what customer needs, we have seen about product planning, mission statement, opportunity identification, and establishing target specification, generating product concept. Today we are about to explore how do we select the product concept. There are certain facts about concept selection. We know that a concept generation is a divergent process, because we have to focus on what are all the various combinations of opportunities, combinations of alternatives available. Here we will be focusing on what very few, one or two most dominant or most promising concept. So it is like a convergent process. It is not a divergent approach. It is an iterative process, because here we cannot go on to the next one, okay, one after another. There will be certain infeasible reaction that could be obtained from the output of concept generation. It is again an iterative process, unless until we are selecting the most dominant promising concept. So selecting such promising concept cannot be made immediately. So the better concepts may be found through recombination of certain pre-screened concept. We will have such example. How do we combine one concept over another concept? Why we are supposed to combine one concept over another concept? Making certain iterations, making certain combinations, or revising an existing concept by considering all its positives, whereas we are neglecting the negatives from such concept. We will see that with an example. Okay. So this recombination may be a temporary activity, which almost eliminates an n number of concepts, so that we will be identifying one or two finalized concepts that we have to do with several iterations. Okay. So as I said, here you can see the concept selection funnel. The concept generation stage, it indicates a divergent process. Meanwhile, concept screening and concept scoring, even testing, it is like convergent process, convergent activity. You may consider while many stages of development process benefit from creativity and divergent thinking, looking for many opportunities. Here, this stage of concept selection, it is a process of narrowing the set of concept. I am narrowing the overall concept in order to develop most promising one. So here we will be doing the successive narrowing and temporary widening, because we are looking upon small iteration activity in order to consider the most feasible concept. Okay. So as I said, there will be two stages in concept selection process, overall concept selection process. One is screening stage, another one is scoring stage. So in the screening stage, we will be doing out certain activity, selecting the important criteria, rating the criteria. From that, rating the criteria with certain n number of concepts. 3 input in the screening stages, selection criteria, and few most promising several concepts. Consider it as 5 or 10 or 12 or even 15 to some cases. And how do I rate the corresponding concept in the screening stage? And from that screening stage, I do what? Revision over the existing concept, or I combine over the existing concept. I select a few concepts out of this, and from that few, in the scoring stage, I will be providing one, or in some cases there may be 2 winning concepts, which can be what sent to the next stage for prototype and a further evaluation. So here our goal is not to select the best concept, but to develop the best concept by combining or refining the existing concept which is generated. We will see, we will understand with some examples. So the major concern is to evaluate the concept with respect to the customer needs and other criteria by the product development team. Okay. So we will have some concept selection methods. We are going to do with screening and scoring today, but there are other concept selection methods, and there are other reasons why we want to use and why we don't want to use over this concept selection methods. To provide a glimpse of each and every concept, various selection methods fast. Okay. The first one, that is multi-voting, open multi-voting. Here, the expert members in the product development team working on the project or a specific product, they will be providing and voting based on what specific concept. If I tell you, if I tell you all like one-time members, if I provide you, this will be the concepts. Around 10 concepts are selected. You please vote for this. Which you prefer. I am saying the specification of it, characteristic of it, that is positives and negatives. Correspondingly, you may conclude and you may define one such concept. So the product development team, they may come to the conclusion based on open multi-voting, or this open multi-voting, that is my individual preferences can be shared in front of everyone, or else it can be shared like what we do in elections, secret ballot voting. Ballot voting can be done. My preferences cannot be known to some other team member, some other colleague. Or it can be done as a most common method of understanding the pros and cons of various concepts. What are all the benefits of various concepts? What are all the various efforts to be made by the product development team? Listing out everything in a detailed way, so that from that we are about to select one of the most promising concepts. Or else group consensus, that is the multi-level expert team, based on their influential experience, they may be selecting the concept. Okay. So here it has been mentioned like how do it emphasize on the outcome of doing this kind of activity. Either it is very fast, it can be a common thing. Sometimes it may be necessary. Look for the leader's decision, team leader's decision. He may have a potential experience on working on selecting the specific concept. Sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, the final influencing member will be the team leader in order to come across, in order to select the potential concept. Okay, what will be our client's decision? Okay, immediate client's decision, we may go for client's decision. Market testing is considered as very difficult. Go behind the market, find out each and every potential stakeholders, your direct customers, retailers or dealers. Okay, conduct survey techniques, questionnaires, one-to-one interview, focus group. Look for just to elaborate the functionalities of concept and selecting the concept. An online community rating, we can provide polling in online community rating, one of the trendy activity. And finally, this screening matrix and the scoring matrix. Screening matrix is the first one we used to provide in terms of understanding its what all is plus, minus, and neutrals. And from that screening matrix, we are about to develop the scoring matrix based on adding weightage towards it. So our curriculum and our focus here is like this last two, screening and scoring matrix. This is one of the important method used globally in order to select the potential concept. Okay, we will have with such example provided in the text. Okay. Now, what are the various further methods while opting for a specific concept? Here, this is like structured methodologies, structured approaches, and meanwhile how it can be implemented. Okay, it can be either based on external decision, as we have seen, customer, client, or some other external entity, and the product champion, as I said, the influential member, and the intuition. What is that intuition? If I ask, intuition in the sense, you may be working on many intuitions. That is that feel. You may say like I had that intuition of getting into either I will be scoring up this so much of marks. My intuition says it's just a feel. Go behind the feel. Okay, the influential member, that is either the product leader, project leader, may go behind his experience and intuition. And we have seen multi-voting already. We have seen web-based survey, pros and cons. Prototype and testing, we missed it. Prototype and testing is one of another way. But meanwhile, the concept selection activity provides the output file, that is some output, most promising concept that should be prototyped and tested, and also based on decision matrices or selection criteria that is to be evaluated. Okay. Quickly, we will go ahead why we must use this kind of structured methodologies or structured methods. What is the benefits behind this? If I tell you customer focused product, why we must be focusing on utilizing structured methods based on customer focused product? Because these concepts are directly evaluated against what customer needs and their own preferences and taste. Okay. And what is the other benefit? Competitive design. Okay, it can be used for a benchmarking activity. By benchmarking the concepts with respect to the existing design or competitive design, we, the product development team or designers, push the design to match such competitive market, exceeding their competitive performance or exceeding the key attributes of a specific product along with the competitor's product or competitor's performance. Okay. So the next one, better product process coordination. Clear evaluation of the product with respect to various criteria, consider manufacturing criteria, inspection criteria, improves how easily the product could be manufacturable. That is, in a definition, in a term, we could say manufacturability, design for manufacturability. That is what we used to call. So these structured methods, while selecting out the concept, provides better coordination between the product and the processes involved in developing or producing such products. Reduced time to product introduction. Obviously, we used to say it reduces the product development time, launching the product sooner in the market. So these kind of structured methods help the product development team, design engineers, manufacturing engineers, and apart from that, industrial designers, marketers, project managers. So it results in decreasing the conflicts. It improves the communication between them. Okay. Because there won't be any ambiguity or confusion exists for any implementation of various concepts. And last one, we will cut it out, cut short, like effective group decision making. It helps in, that is within the product development team, so the structured guideline facilitate willingness of each and every members to participate and helps in proper decision making as a whole, as a group. And further documentation of decision process. Obviously, of all the activity properly, if it is achieved as a document, okay, that helps for future activities to go back and retrieve some documents, to have some idea, to have certain functionalities that is to be taken over from long back. Okay, say some 5 or 10 years back, a decade back, I'm going to search some document. Those team were worked with a specific concept. That concept may be a trend after some days. Okay, documentation is helpful in that aspect. And meanwhile, for all new inductee design engineers or new engineers who are aspiring to come to join in a product development team, they will be learning based on the documentation exists. Okay. So as I said earlier, concept selection methodology. There are two stages exist in concept selection methodology. The first stage is concept screening, and the second stage is concept scoring. Okay. What is the concept screening? This concept screening stage, screening is just like filtering. It is like a quick evaluation aimed at producing few alternatives which are workable or functioning alternatives. Very few alternatives, very few concepts. I am screening out of around from hundreds of opportunities. Okay, in the opportunity identification, I am coming to the conclusion of our product specification. Now, based on the product specification, I have generated some 10 or 20 different concepts. So from the 10 or 20 concept, I have to screen it and I have to send to the next stage, concept scoring stage, either 2 or 3 or even 5 or obviously, even sometimes, some cases, 10 concepts to look upon to further work it, analyze it detailedly. So the concept screening stage, it involves a quick evaluation based on what are all the positive, negative effects of the concept with reference to certain datum, certain base concept or reference concept who leads the market, who acts as a benchmarking. Okay. Today we will explore with such example. I have requested you to make that template. Okay. For certain interactive activity, it will be interesting too. Okay. And the second stage in concept selection process, it is like concept. It is called as concept scoring. Okay. Here in the concept scoring stage, we are about to do careful analysis of various concepts which is filtered or screened in the initial stage. And in this few concept, in order to choose the single promising concept that leads the entire product to be commercialized in a successful way, we are about to select one single concept out of it. Again, adding weightage. It is a very simple process actually. Okay, everything is supported by decision matrix. The team can rate it, the team can rank it, and select the best concept out of it. We will go all this activity with one of example. Okay. Here we are considering an example. It seems like a pen. It is not a pen actually. It is a reusable outpatient syringe, insulin syringe to be more precise. Okay. To focus our today's concept selection activity. Okay. Being consider if you are working in a product development team, our effort will be made on considering this example, syringe example, utilizing various concepts. I will brief out some of the concept, and we will be working on how do we select the concept. This is just an example provided in our curriculum, in our course. Okay. So consider a small a medical supply company identified two major problems in utilizing reusable syringe, outpatient syringe. One of the important problem is cost. Okay. So the cost, that is the existing model, it is made up of stainless steel. It is very costly, and most of the customers does not have such affordability. They cannot afford it. And meanwhile, another important problem is like accuracy of dose metering, how the dosage can be accurately metered. So inaccuracy which has been prevailed in the measuring the dosage. Okay. So we will be exploring the concept screening and concept scoring stage. I will be explaining using this example, and meanwhile we will explore with interactively, lively, with one example which we always take, consider the mobile phone. That's what I said. Okay. By learning out what are all the simpler small steps involved in the concept selection process. Okay. So here it is mentioned to summarize the need of its client and the intended end users. The product development team established some 7 criteria how the various choice of the product concept will be depending upon. Okay. We will explore such criteria. Criteria in the sense that are the selection criteria we are going to focus upon. If I ask you mobile, provide me some selection criteria for a mobile phone, obviously you will say plenty of selection criteria. Here on my own concern, I have listed out a few selection criteria for mobile phone here for considering today's activity session. You may enter your own selection criteria. Okay, but this selection criteria, it is based on most of the intended customers, intended end users. Here, this company, it went down to ask the corresponding usage of this syringe with the doctors, with the customers, and dealers of a pharmaceutical team. They have come across some potential criteria. Say criteria like what is the portability. Being it is an insulin syringe, it should be like always it should be portable. So it is just made like a pen with holes, uh, which can be holded upon us. And considering the portability aspect of it, how easily it is manufactured, one of the important criteria. What will be the life of this product? It can also be durability. It can also be considered in any such example if you are taking. And they have listed out cost. Okay, that is important trade-off. And another one, the metering accuracy is improper or inaccurate. So consider that dose metering accuracy was one of the criteria. And the handling, okay, 5 and left out, I have left out 2. We will see that in the example. Okay, so back to this example, to design an improved reusable syringe with precise dosage control for the outpatient use or for the diabetic. Okay, with the optimal cost, affordable cost. That is our objective statement, being a product designer. Obviously, the current problems are what? It is like too costly and too inaccurate. We may say, okay, they are saying it is stainless steel, costly, and it is not accurate. Simple problem. It is costly and it is inaccurate. How I am going to correct it accurateness, and how I am going to change the material or develop some other design, modify some other design such that it cost is affordable. Okay. So here we can witness some 7 different concepts. Okay, for the single usage. To be very clear, very precise, our usage is a syringe for a diabetic patient. Consider a reusable insulin syringe, which can be worked out. The syringe concept can be worked out with some 7 different concepts which can be worked out with various mechanisms. So this each concept should include a sketch and a short description. We have seen a video yesterday, a video showing out a stand that is a pencil holder. Okay, our objective is to hold the pencil, but what are all the various potential concept, the various sketches that can be generated. Okay, in similar way, here for considering a master cylinder, if it is a concept, there are several such sketches can be generated, and this is an output of all those sketches. Meanwhile, we are accumulating or combining such several promising concepts here for the screening stage. Okay. So here, as an input to the concept screening stage, you must have this kind of sketch along with a short description about the functionalities of such concept. Okay. All the concepts should include similar level of details, that is description about the functionalities. We will see one by one each and every individual concept shortly, so that you could have a small understanding about how it varies one from another. Okay. Consider the concept A, master cylinder. Okay. So here in the concept A, master cylinder, it displaces that is a fluid or medicine dose, whatever it is, from this master cylinder. This master cylinder actuates the corresponding pusher. Okay. Upon release, whenever I am releasing it, the sealed fluid cavity is filled with more fluid if necessary, because I am having a 2 different segment in it. Okay. It utilizes or uses a slide lock to control the moment of plunger. Okay. Here the dose is set by overall length of the stroke. I hope you know what is stroke means, which we have studied in cylinders, that is our engine piston stroke length. Okay, a similar stroke length of the stroke by setting up the metering towards the length of the stroke, we can measure the corresponding dosage or dose. Okay, so this is here the major functionality is made out with the master cylinder in concept A. And coming to the concept B, Concept B uses rubber-based clutch and brake kind of turning mechanism. Like how do we use clutch and brake? Okay. Here, through this clutch and brake mechanism, the fluid flow, that is the medicine flow, it can be controlled. How much amount of dosage to be sent. The push net grips the shaft when it is pushed. Okay. So this rubber clutch offers certain resistance how the dosage can be made. Okay, we don't want to go in in-depth detail, just some understanding about, if you are understanding as it is concept A, it is related with master cylinder, concept B, it is related with rubber brake. I just need to signify how each and every concept varies. Meanwhile, the corresponding output, the corresponding outcome of such part or a product is similar. Okay, how one concept varies with respect to another concept. Here also again, the dose is set by the overall length of the stroke. Firstly, we will see some other concept. Concept C. I am utilizing a ratchet mechanism. I hope you know what is a ratchet mechanism. We have been exploring, studied that in MD2. Okay. So concept C requires turning the plunger by 90 degree. Okay, I am turning this plunger by 90 degree and pulling back to refill the syringe. So the ratchet engages the corresponding pusher when plunger is being pushed and gets disengaged when plunger is being pulled out. Okay. Here again, same, the dose is set by the overall length of the stroke. Coming to the concept D, which is, see, the name is ratchet because ratchet is a unique thing in this concept. What about the concept D, plunge stop? Okay, here it is the reference. Why it is reference in the sense, here we are from all of these concepts, this concept is identified or understood as one of the most promising one, which consists of higher positive characteristics when compared with other concepts. So I am considering this as, that is the product development team considering this as their reference concept. Okay. So again, I will precisely say the uniqueness, differences among one concept over another. Here the plunge stop, okay, found to be optimistic as I said, then the other concept, okay. It requires a screw-based turning to control the amount of dosage, just like a screw. The stroke length is set by screwing the outer sleeve forward, okay, which thereby it increases the spacing between the plunger and this outer sleeve. This is concept D using the plunge stop. Concept E and F. Okay. Concept E utilizes a swash ring, a swash plate. Just I hope if you remember studying fluid mechanics. Okay. That is, if you remember studying about pumps in basics of basic mechanical engineering, civil and mechanical engineering, BCM, you will be having such part, swash plate in axial piston pump. So this mechanism E is again based on this swash ring, which consists of swash plate. Okay, this swash ring, which works like rotating analyst concept. Okay, so just like a swash plate which works with axial piston pump, it delivers the fluid, delivers the medicine or dosage at a very high rate, utilizing a swash ring. Okay, again, this is also one of the most promising, that is dominant mechanism. Here the dose is set by rotating the swash ring. Okay, and the next one, concept F, lever set. So concept S use a lever kind of approach. This lever, which makes a to and fro motion for setting and injecting the dosage to the patient. Okay. The corresponding stroke length is here it is different. It is controlled through angle of operating the lever. Okay, just like a lever, either forward or backward. Finally, the last concept, concept G, dial screw. Okay, it is again one of the proven concept in the previous stage. So concept G is based on the lead screw. Okay, I hope you know what is the function of lead screw. Okay, if you have come across utilizing lathe in our workshop. Okay, you know this ledge screw. Concept G is based on the ledge screw motion for operating the plunger. Okay, the motion to the ledge screw is transmitted by turning the dial knob. Okay, obviously, again the dose is set by turning the corresponding dial knob. The energy stored in the spring is actuated through this ledge screw, which in turn, according to its rotation, which supplies the dosage to the patient. So we don't want to go into detailed way, okay, how the various concepts, we don't want to remember how the various concept works. Okay. Our focus here is to identify there are some unique functionalities, some unique parts which exhibit in order to provide a common cause of or a common outcome. Meanwhile, each and everything varies with its own unique mechanism. Okay, different mechanism is being followed. Okay, so now I am considering this 7 concept for our concept screening and concept selection stage for the concept selection activity for 2 different stages: concept screening and concept scoring. Okay, so we will start this concept screening. Concept screening involves various process, and this is general both for concept screening and concept scoring stage. It is called as concept selection activity. Only small difference is that adding the weightage, how rating out, how the weightage rating is being varied in the screening stage and the scoring stage. And apart from the weightage concern, remaining everything is similar for both the screening stage and for both the scoring stage. Okay. So we will look on fastly. We will look on the various steps. First one, prepare the matrix. So already I have requested you to draw a template, draw a table. Okay, it shows a matrix on the row column and some attributes, some factors to be added to in the row column and something to be added in the something to be added in the row and something to be added in the column. And the column shows A, B, C. Okay, we will add something to it. Prepare the matrix. What are all the various selection criteria? If I said mobile phone, a good camera clarity is a selection criteria. Nowadays, waterproofing is a selection criteria. Sleek design is a selection criteria. Multitasking, 24/7 multitasking, vigorous durability, build quality. Many selection criteria will be identify, understand some of the most promising selection criteria provided by the customer feedbacks. Okay, customer needs. Okay. Now state those selection criteria here and select the reference concept on the column. Okay, what are the various concepts? From that concept, what will be the reference concept? This is the first stage. Second one, rate the concept. Rate it in the form of positive, negative, and neutral. Compare with respect to reference one. And the third one, rank the concept. How I am going to rank it based on the ratings provided. And fourth one, combine and improve. As I said, for the concept scoring stage, I have to either improve the concept such that its negative criteria or negative factors eliminated, or I combine 2 different concepts. As I seen here, we have witnessed 7 different concepts in syringe. Okay, we can either combine or improve. Combine in the sense I can combine A and B. I can combine B and C. It is combining. Improving, I can improve C in the form of C square or C star, something like that. Okay, we will see that in an example. Okay, and select the best concept. Obviously, it's one of the important activity. We have to select the best one. We have to be aware of average concept and the poor concept. We have to leave out average concept. Reflect on the process is like continuous improvement, like Kaizen activity. Okay. We will first what we do is we will focus on the stages fastly, the importance of each and every stage. Then you will understand whenever you are going to start your activity, that is after learning out, after exploring the example, the same syringe example, you will better understand each and every individual significance of each and every individual stages. Okay. So before commencing it, as I said, this concept screening activity, which is named after, it is often called as Hugg's concept selection method. Pug, it is not a dog, that is here. It is Stuart Pugh, named after an American engineer who framed up this technique, who initialized this technique for screening of concept and for screening and scoring stage of concept selection activity. Okay, so the first stage involves prepare the selection matrix. To prepare the matrix, the team selects a physical medium, appropriate physical part or physical medium, and also the selection criteria behind it. Okay, the concepts are entered along the top of the matrix. Say the various column, top row in the various column, top of the matrix, what are the various concepts? It should be entered denoting a symbol, denoting a graphical or textual labels. Okay, say if the team is considering more than about 10 or 12 concepts, as we have seen, various techniques to filter such concept can be selected. That is, I can go for multi-voting, I can go for ballot voting based on product development team decision, I can go for the product champion or product influential product leaders decision. Okay, so that if I am having in the opportunity identification, I have come across 500 of concept, and the next product development stages, I will be eliminating unpromising, not promising concept, and I will be segregating in the concept generation stage with the most promising 50 concept. Now here, if I have 50 concept, I cannot go behind the 50 concept for utilizing those 50 in the concept selection stage, concept screening and the concept scoring. So I will be utilizing any such multi-voting technique or expert members decision or direct end users, lead customers, lead users decision. I will be selecting from utilizing most of the tool. I will be selecting 10 or 12 or 5, whatever it is. It depends on the project and it depends on the PD team. Okay. So it is just an example. Products with more than 12 concepts can be utilized multi-voting or such kind of different techniques. Okay. And it can be reduced. And the selection criterion, and what about the various selection criterion of the product? These criteria, various criteria for the product are chosen based on, as I said, the customer needs, and based on as we have seen, the capacity of capacity of a specific company utilization, that is its facility utilization, and what about the overall cost of a product, minimizing its product liabilities towards the commercializing success, market success. Okay, so almost often the selection criteria should be chosen to differentiate among, that is differentiate one concept among another concepts. How can I differentiate it properly? And meanwhile, I should take the reference concept clearly. Okay. And meanwhile, here I have to focus clearly on selecting the most important criteria. Consider the same example. If I say mobile phone, you will be shooting out with plenty of characteristics, plenty of selection criteria. I have to focus on what will be the most promising one, and I have to leave out all those unimportant criteria. Say, as I said, example, okay, if I ask to give out a certain criteria, a few of the customers may provide, like I often, my mobile phone often slips from my hand. They may say like providing grip to the mobile enclosure for a safe handling and to avoid a slippage. But that cannot be that kind of criteria, selection criteria may not be the much needed one by most of the customers. And we have to be sure we are eliminating such kind of criteria, considering it as unimportant to look upon this concept selection activity. So, as I said, it is very important activity to carefully choose the selection criteria. The differences among the various concepts relative to the more important concept will not be which will not be clearly reflected, considering it as outcome if you are choosing an unimportant criteria. And because that is a first activity, then what are all the various things which you are going to do in order to choose a better concept, then you are not going to evaluate, you are not going to come out with better outcomes in a PD team in order to choose some good concept. So in this stage one, the team may identify the selection criteria and the various alternatives, few most promising concepts which are found to be good based on the product specifications. Okay, obviously they do benchmarking, they evaluate competitors' product. Okay, and they set up the reference concept. Okay, this is step one. Step one activity, we are selecting the various criteria, we are considering the various concepts behind it. Step two activity, step two in concept screening stage, rate the concept. As it is mentioned, score of better than is positive, same as is 0, and worse than is negative. Please understand, this is with respect to some reference concept, some best in class concept which is available in the market. I may consider my concept with respect to some selection criteria, consider the reference concept. So it is like concept A is better than the reference, or it is same as the reference, or worse than the reference. If it is better than, you are supposed to add plus. If it is neutral, if it is same, add 0. If it is negative, add minus. That is, if it is worse than, add minus. Okay. So we have to provide such ratings, which is the second step in concept screening activity. Okay. So here it is generally advisable to rate each and every concept on one criterion. If camera quality is an important criterion, how do I identify such camera quality as a selected criterion for various different concepts? That is, consider the concept as various different brands. Obviously, each and every corresponding brand possesses some difference in their concept. Instead of looking the concept as A, B, C, consider it as brand directly. Okay, how do I rate? Okay, so I can rate it considering the camera quality. I have to rate out each and every brand with respect to some reference brand, or else if it is concept is very low, you can go behind it, or else whatever which you feel comfortable. Instead of criterion, look for one concept, that is, look for one brand. Consider everything: camera quality, sleek design, performance, multitasking, battery backup, lesser weight, everything you can do. You can provide the rating. What is that rating? Plus, minus, or 0. Consider the reference concept. Okay, my reference is Apple. How it is with Apple? Okay. Here, one of the important activity, again, you should not choose that reference concept which is nevertheless provide, that is, it should be a competitive product. That is, it should be a best in class benchmarked product. It's not just like something which provides exceeding performance. Obviously, the performance is related with cost. Okay, it should be equal to the corresponding benchmarking should be equal to the functionalities which is provided by various concepts. Okay, so here I hope you understood this. Rate the concept is just providing the rating: positive, negative, and the neutrals with respect to one reference concept. And rank the concept. Ranking is just calculating, making the sum of number of positive, that is number of better than, or number of negative, number of neutrals in a specific concepts. That is number of better than, number of same as, and number of worse than. I am mentioning each and everything separately. Thereby, I will be providing the rank for each and every individual different concepts. Okay, this is step 3, calculating the zeros, plus, and minus. And meanwhile, we have to provide the rank for it: rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. I will go for the rank 1, 2, and 3 and leave out the remaining thing. Either leave out or either go for the next step 4, which is most important one, in order to combine or improve some of the concept which is not found to be most dominating or most promising. Some of the ways to combine certain concepts are there. Some concept may have very least negative criterion. Okay. Consider this product provides outstanding customer experience, but it lacks in one simple thing, you may say. Okay. Obviously, this proximity sensor, it is not working at some point of time. The fingerprint sensor is not working at some point of time, you may say. But every aspect, every feature is awesome. Everything is wonderful. But what else to do? Something. Okay. And how shall we eliminate such kind of thing? Either we can improve that concept, or else we can combine one concept and another concept, name it together, come it over with the corresponding newer concept as a separate concept. We can do that in the fourth stage, which is combine and improving the concept. Okay. As we look upon two issues, one of the two issues here is to consider, is there a generally good concept that is degraded because of one bad feature? As I said, because of one small problem, the whole product, whole concept is being degraded. Okay, whether a product development team, they can look upon whether making a small minor modification, small improvement, okay, so that the bad feature is eliminated and the overall concept will preserve its attributes over what other different concepts. And the second issue, we have to ask whether the two concepts can be combined together. As I said, if two concepts is better combined together, eliminating the worse than qualities, eliminating the negative qualities. Think of combining two different mobile brands, okay, which possess different unique functionalities, different unique USPs, unique selling propositions, and how they will lead the market. Okay. So in this step 4, our focus is to combine and improve the concept. And the next one, selecting one or more concept. So further refinement and analysis activity has to be made, because here once the product development team members are very much satisfied with their understanding of each concept and corresponding concept and the quality of such concept. Okay, so they decide which one we have to select it based on many refinement and many analysis. Okay, based on their previous experiences. Now the PD team, product development team, will develop a clear sense of understanding and come out with the most promising concept. Okay, and the last stage, reflect on the results and the process. It is just like a continuous improvement committed to the subsequent product development activities. Product development team now focus on whether the results really makes sense to everyone. Okay, whether the product development team could deliberate the corresponding concept as a successful one, so that continuous improvement will be made based on the feedbacks. Whether is there any chances such that some mistakes could have happened, or is there any chances that no mistakes shall happen? They have to discuss on continuous improvement. We have selected the best concept, we have selected the most leading one based on our own preferences. We may be lagging out at some earlier stages. You may think like the product specification, that process, we have missed to do that corresponding process clearly, and this is the effect of all that. If you are thinking out a very at a very later stage about the design change, now please reimagine the concurrent design graph which we have seen. Design changes at the very later stage, at the production stage or testing and refinement stage or pilot production stage, it will make expensive changes altogether. Meanwhile, your competitors may launch the corresponding product. Okay, now we will proceed with the same example. I hope you have made it. If you don't want to fill it, I have displayed the template of it without the corresponding A, B, C, D, E, F, G of it. You can choose any example on your own, whichever the example which you feel comfortable. I hope you feel comfortable with mobile phone, because that makes us to understand easily, and we are most of the time we will be using such product, and always it's obvious I used to choose such mobile phone as an example. It makes us to understand the corresponding concepts clearly. Okay, so here in the concept screening, the example provided in the text, okay, we have seven different concepts. Okay, with the 7 different selection criteria. It is not like 7 and 7. It can be anything. It can be 5 or it can be 10. Either here it can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 6 or 7, whatever it is. It is based on a product development team, how they come across such different concept variants and how they come across the corresponding selection criteria. Most important selection criteria provided by the customer needs. Okay. So here our focus is various concept variant. I hope you can just wake up those frames of memories of how the various uniqueness which exhibit between one concept towards another concept. Starting from master cylinder to dial screw. We name it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G just for identification purpose. Okay. And as I said that here plung stop is identified as reference concept since it possesses some of the most optimistic characteristics when compared with other concepts. So it can be taken as reference how I am going to rate it based on the selection criteria. As the first step, as we have seen, we have to make the matrix selection criteria, fill the selection criteria, various terms of selection criteria based on the customer needs. Here in the syringe example, customer may be asking the need of ease of handling. How shall I handle it in an easier way? Okay. Meanwhile, similar to how it is been used it. Okay. Handling is different from using. Using it is just like utilizing it in day-to-day life. Okay. As a syringe by the normal customer, and how I am going to handle it professionally. Okay. More or less it is together. Okay. Now, while an example, we may come across some of the most promising selection criteria from the customer needs. Number readability. Okay, that is the readability of sittings. One of the major concern provided by the product development team in this example. Dose metering accuracy. Okay, and again load handling, durability, build quality, life of the syringe, manufacturability. How easily I could manufacture this product or a part. Portability, one of an important phenomenon, important selection criteria in this example. Now we have to list out the selection criteria in the row and the various different concepts in the column. Okay, we will name it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Meanwhile, the corresponding names of it. Okay, and after that, pluses, sames, minuses. Pluses is what? It is better than or good than. Consider if the concept of ease of handling for A, the master cylinder, is better than the plunger stop, which is the reference, which is D. If it is better than, I have to make it as plus. If it is same, neutral, ease of handling is similar for both A and D, it can be what? 0. If it is minus, if it is negative, the ease of handling is not good for A concept, master cylinder, and it is very well for plung stop. That is, we have to compare the D concept here as a reference. We are taking that as a reference based on the functionality of syringe. While considering an example, while working in product development team, you will be coming across the various functionalities such that based upon the understanding of the entire team, they will be providing, this will be the reference. We may consider this as reference because this concept prove to be the best in the existing facility. There may be some of the differences in selection criteria, and there may be certain lagging in the overall ranking while calculating the overall ranking, which one we should develop, which one we should select. But as far the existing, this acts as a benchmarking concept for all the other remaining concepts. Okay, so here we do calculate number of plus, which is good, good, which is neutral, same as, or which is worse than the reference concept. Meanwhile, calculate the net of it. Okay, leave the neutral. What about the plus and minus? Calculate the net. Okay, and rank it based on the net score, and make the decision. Either we have to select it, either we have to leave it, either we have to combine it or revise it. 4 decisions you have to make it in as an outcome of concept screening stage. Either to select it, either to reject it, either to combine it. I can combine the master cylinder with the rubber brake. If these concepts are combined, if it is providing exceeding performance, I can combine it. Or I can revise this B alone, leaving out some negative functionalities. We will look upon with the examples. Okay, we don't want to waste time. And as I said, okay, the reference always consider the reference as neutral, which is 0. Okay, because it just acts like a reference one. Okay, when compared with the other thing. First one, A, master cylinder. Okay, here master cylinder, for ease of handling, it is neutral. Okay, So consider the same syringe example as we have what exhibiting here. Okay, concept the A was rated to have 2 better than criteria. You can witness the plus positive for ease of manufacturing and positive for portability in compared with the reference concept D. Okay, and you can witness there is no worse than rating, there is no negative rating. Worse than, worse, that is worse than. So everything is neutral, and only 2 selection criteria seems to be positive when comparing the concept of A master cylinder with the concept of plunger stop. Okay, so next one, B. So B possesses 1 positive. Portability is found to be fine, found to be good when comparing with the reference, and the remaining manufacturing ease and ease of use is found to be a negative, and remaining is neutral. While comparing the ratchet mechanism concept C with the D, ease of handling and ease of use is what? Negative, which is worse than, and manufacturing ease is worse than. Only one positive, which is readability, number readability. Okay, and similarly E, swash ring, which possesses 1 positive, which is number readability. Sorry, 2 positive. Another positive is portability, and only 1 negative, dose metering accuracy. That accuracy in order to what metering the dosage, which is a negative, and meanwhile remaining everything is neutral. Similarly, considering the F, considering the G with respect to the D. Hope you understand, hope you are following. Okay, let me check. Is variance like company name? What about variance in mobile phone? Because all are similar. Okay, Kamleshwar. It's just an example. I have said mobile phone because variance in the sense you can provide variance in the form of brand name, or else you can provide, if you are very sure about the concepts related with the company, you can go ahead. Say for an example of, I may consider the selection criterion of sleek design. Okay, and I possess various company name, say Redmi, say Vivo, say Honor, say Samsung, and I can rate based on the selection criteria of sleek design. Based on the reference, you may choose something as reference and how it varies. Okay, we can do that just as a practice we are about to do. Brand name, it's not like brand name, we have to exhibit it as a concept. Okay, here the final, consider this as an example. Our final outcome is to what? Make the dosage, to inject the dosage to the patient. Okay, and how the various mechanism varies. I am considering the mechanism of injecting the dosage as a various what certain unique elements which exhibits from one concept towards another concept. For a mobile, you may consider as a whole. Instead of, you can consider the camera alone. Take an example. Instead of the whole mobile phone, consider camera part in the mobile phone. What is the functionality of camera? To take pictures, to record videos. Okay, to clearly record the audio behind the video, to record the video during night vision. Okay, now to record the slow motion, to add additional various features in it. So now I can focus on the camera alone. With respect to that camera in the mobile phone, I can go for selection criteria. Okay, it may be a pixel, it may be a HD, it can be a HD with minimal amount of size. Okay, it can be a fast motion and many such thing. And here I can rate it out. Now if I say camera, you can rate it out with different brands. No. Okay, just for an example. Now we don't want to stringent ourselves with one such thing. I am taking the mobile phone as a whole. So here as like a outcome, as like outcome is injecting a dosage to the patient. Outcome of a mobile phone is to communicate. That is first initial thing is to communicate, and other things are to surf over the internet, to take pictures. I am considering as a whole. Okay, we may do it. While doing it, we may have a better understanding of it. Okay, clear. Next one. Okay, now we have provided our rating of positive, negative, and neutral, 0, comparing our individual different concept with respect to the reference concept. Okay, then we are about to calculate what? The total number of pluses, total number of sames, total number of minuses. What is the total number of pluses in the each and every individual concept? Consider the concept master cylinder. It consists of 2 positives, manufacturing ease and portability. Here it is 1 positive. Here it is 1 positive, which is number readability. And here obviously it is neutral. And here swash ring, it is two positive, number readability and portability. Similarly, others. Calculate all the pluses. Then calculate all the neutrals. Calculate all the zeros. Okay. Zeros with respect to the reference, neutrals. Okay. So in A, it is totally 5 zeros. 4, 0, 3. In neutral, obviously, it is everything is 0. 4, 3, 5. So then our step is to calculate the negatives. Okay. In A, it is 0 negative. Okay. In B, it is 2 negative. In C, it is 3 negative. And it is 0, obviously. And here it is 1, 0. 1. Sorry, 1 negative. And here it is 2 negative. And here it is 1 negative, which is ease of handling. So now I have to calculate the net weightage of each and every individual unique concept. How to calculate is plus and the minus. 2 minus 0, 2. 1 minus 2, minus 1. 1 minus 3, minus 2. 0 minus 0, that is fine. 2 minus 1, 1. And 2 minus 2, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. Okay. Now, based on the net score, okay, based on the sum up of positive and negatives, rank it. Okay, I'm ranking it. The maximum is 2. So the first rank goes to master cylinder A. Okay, it can be taken as most promising concept. And after the net ranking 2, we have 1 for concept E, swash string. Okay, here I am providing it as what, rank of 2. And rank of 3, I have got 3 zeros. That is for obviously for reference concept, it is 0. And F and G, it is 0. Okay, so here I can go for the next ranks 3. And since it is 3 rank has got 3 and 3, so 4, 5 is neglected. And the next one, minus 1 and minus 2, rank it as 6 and 7. Okay, now take the decision, reflect on the solution, take the decision. How I am going to take the decision. Okay, so you have to, as I said, either select it, either reject it, either combine it, or either revise it. Okay, so here the combined and the improved concepts are then added to the matrix, which is rated by the product development team. Okay, and it must be ranked along with the corresponding original concept. So consider in this example, a team noticed that the corresponding concept of D and F could be combined to remove several of the worse than ratings. Say the concept of D, since I act as a reference, it is 0, and the concept of F, okay, so here the minus is 2. So how I can combine both of D and F instead of just eliminating the F, since F has got the third rank. Okay, leave out the positives and negatives. First, let us focus on this combining and the improving thing. So here the D and the F can be combined to provide a new concept which can be named as DF, a new concept of DF. Okay, and meanwhile this is combining action. And revising it, consider the case of dial screw. The motion is transmitted by controlling the dial knob and the lead screw, which names it dial screw. Okay, it possesses the similar rank of 3. Okay, obviously we are about to select the concept with the maximum rank 1 and rank 2. Leave the rank 1 and rank 2, and coming to the next phase, rank 3, we are about to do the combining activity of D and F. And after that, we are about to revise in the sense improving one aspect. So G has got only one negative, that is ease of handling. If I am eliminating this corresponding negative aspect in this G concept, it will be a new, good, most promising concept. So here what we have to take a decision, being in a product development team, is to revise this concept and name it as a separate one. Consider name it as G square. Here it is named as G plus. Okay, hope you understand. So from this we come to the conclusion that we have got most promising concept as concept A, obviously the master cylinder, which ranks 1, and the concept E, the swash plate, similar to the axial piston pump, which ranks the rank 2, and the concept, the rank of 3. For rank of 3, I am combining D and F, and also I am revising the G plus. Consider everything just an example based on its functionality. Meanwhile, we can do on our own if we are doing it for an example. Meanwhile, okay. And going to the next stage of concept scoring. Okay, as I said earlier, what is the role of concept scoring? Concept screening, we have screened it, we have filtered it. It is more detailed analysis. Okay, this stage is used when increased resolution will better differentiate, that is from one concept to another concept. In the previous stage, we have seen 7 different concepts. From that, how I am going to come up with some 2 or 3 concepts. Obviously, here we are about to take the concept A, which consists of rank 1, and concept E, rank 2. Okay, I am eliminating, or we are just rejecting the concept B and C, which possess the last rank, least rank, and we are combining D and F. So it is concept 3 and G plus concept 4. So 4 concepts we are going to evaluate in the scoring stage. Okay, so the product development team weighs the relative importance between these 4 different concepts among with the selection criteria, and focus more on further refined comparison, which can be made by adding weightage ratings for each and every selection criteria. We will focus on such thing, what we are going to do in the scoring stage. As I said earlier, scoring stage is similar to the screening stage. Only important thing is rating the concept differs from screening stage. In the screening stage, we rated with the positive, negative, and 0. Okay. Here we are about to rate by providing the potential importance. Consider the FMEA scale, the scaling of severity, occurrence, and reduction. Here we are provided to scale in the form of either 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. Most product development team focus on more precise, that is the importance scale lying between 1 to 5, or sometimes even 0 to 5. Okay. Provide the importance rating and calculate that weightage rating with the percentage of importance of selection criteria. Some of these weighted scores, and again here you can go behind selecting the most promising single concept. Just imagine we have started the session, previous sessions, with identifying plenty of opportunities. Okay, if you could recall the pharmaceutical, that is one single drug, single tablet, consider it as an example. There are plenty of 10,000 lakhs of opportunities, million opportunities. Consider creating a movie, it consists of some 500 different opportunities, different pictures. Consider an automobile, it consists of some hundreds of different concepts. From 100 to 1, some 500 to 1, some in medicine, some different concepts, 1 million or thousands, 10,000s to 1. Our aim is to come across one such concept, but one, or maybe in some cases 2 or 3 prevailing concepts may also be taken for further stages, that is evaluation testing, that is prototyping and physical testing. Okay, other activities. Now we will look ahead fastly the scoring stage. Okay, so the first step in preparation, that is preparing the selection matrix, which is similar to the screening stage, but the template a little bit it varies when comparing with the similar that is screening stage. Okay, so the concepts that have been identified for analysis are entered on the top of the matrix. That is a new concept which is screened or filtered in the previous stage, and it is further refined in the scoring stage and ranked up. Okay, so along with more detailed concept, now the product development team may wish to add more detail towards the selection criterion, that is adding out individual percentages. How the percentage you may look upon, if battery backup is either important, camera quality is important, sleek design is important, multitasking performance is important. How do, in what percentage that is important for me? Consider if I am providing it 100%. Now you are in a situation to provide the importance percentage weighting, that is percentage weightage, how you are going to provide it. You may say, sir, sleek design, I can provide it 5%. Multitasking, 30%. Battery backup, obvious, it is 25%. That is again, it is 30 or 40%. Camera quality, 20%. I have to add weightage towards the entire selection criteria. So after this importance weight is being added up, and after the screening matrix to be entered, okay, now I am going to provide relative importance in the scale of 1 to 5, as I said. Okay, and meanwhile here we can even move out with further refinement, detailing. Here it is an example, take a syringe example, how ease of use selection criterion mentioned, as I said, ease of use. Ease of use can be mentioned as ease of injection, ease of cleaning, or ease of loading. Just I am making further refinement on the selection criteria. Okay. So now let us proceed to the step 2. As I said earlier, in step 2, we are about to provide scaling in the form of recommended scaling in the scale of 1 to 5. Okay. As in the screening stage, the team must be focusing its discussion by rating all of the concepts with respect to every single selection criterion at a time. Okay. So here the we have seen it is 0, it is neutral, plus is positive, that is good than, better than, we could say better than, or minus, which is worse than the reference concept. Here relative importance or ratings can be provided in the form of 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. This is the standardized scale. 1 is that is very much worse than the reference. 2 just worse than the reference, same as the reference, neutral. Better than the reference, much better than the reference. Instead of rating it in the form of 3 different aspects, positive, negative, and neutral, we are taking 1 neutral, 2 different positive and 2 different negative aspects for providing the rating scale in the concept scoring matrix. Remember, this different concepts are already being screened out and found to be some of the most promising one in the earlier stage. Okay, this is step 2. And step 3, I am just summing up with corresponding to the weightage. Okay, here it is not directly adding the either positive or negative. With the importance rating and with the percentage of rating, percentage weightage of rating provided by the customer for the individual selection criteria, we are about to calculate the overall weightage scores and rank the concepts. We will explore it. Okay. And lastly, combining and improving the concept. Either I am making changes or further I am making the revising the combinations, because the team may look upon for changes on this combination that may provide potential improvements over the existing concept. Okay, because now you may witness, although this process is completed in the screening stage itself, okay, as the in order to improve or in order to combine, okay, some of the most creative refinement or creative modifications in order to improve the existing concept can also be made, because always it is like iterative activity. They may still look upon, is there any chances a specific concept can be improved over the existing product? Okay, further refinement, further improvement. We could say that as continuous improvement. That is improvement after an improvement is achieved. Okay. So finally, the step 5, select one or more concept. Team should explore this initial evaluation by conducting the sensitivity analysis. That's what I said. Look for uncertainty. Don't look for certainties alone. The team members can assess whether any uncertainty, any surprises, any unfortunates can be arriving over a specific criterion in the specific concept. Okay. They should do sensitivity analysis. Look after each and everything in a sensitive manner. In some cases, they may select a very low scoring concept about which there is little uncertainty instead of high scoring concept. There may be some chances of selecting a very low scoring one. There may be misunderstanding in scoring the concepts. Okay, instead of which provides some unworkable condition, unworkable solution, mentioning it as a most promising one. Okay, they may do this sensitivity analysis, looking for uncertainties, looking for any loops and holes in every nook and corner of a product concepts, such that 1 or 2 most promising concept is selected. Okay, so based on the selection matrix, the team may decide to select the most promising concept in this step 5. And finally, step 6, reflect on the results on the process. As the final step, the team reflects over the selected concept and the concept selection process. Okay, so now everyone on the team should definitely feel that they should feel comfortable that all the relevant issues in a specific concept have been discussed. Okay, they should consider each and every aspect. Okay, the concept should have a greatest potential to satisfy its own customers, and it should be economically successful. Okay, there is no any debate. There is no boomerang which has been exhibited. It is like it should satisfy the customer. It should make success. It should be commercialized successfully. Okay. So that much of confidence that should be developed at this stage of concept scoring stage, at the last stage of concept scoring. Okay. Satish, I hope Satish has slept. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, after each stage of concept selection, it is a useful reality check by the product development team to review each and every individual process. Okay. Now that's enough. Before looking ahead of concept scoring stage with an example, we may look the results which is just arrived from the concept screening stage. Again, how it can be combined precisely. As I said, here we are going to select the master cylinder A as an example. That is A as one of the concept to the scoring stage, and B and C is rejected, and we are combining D with respect to F because D, F and G scored the third rank and E is selected as a unique concept. So combining D and F as it is mentioned combine, and again we are revising the G because G possessed only one negative aspect. Okay. So we will witness what are all the changes in the existing concept to be made before analyzing scoring matrix. That is each and everything separately in its own picture. The concept A has highest net score. Obviously, it scored rank 1 and no worse than rating. It scored, I hope it is 2. Yeah, it is 2 positive. That is 2 better than rating. That is ease of manufacture and portability. Yeah, portability. And remaining everything is neutral. Okay. So it is one of the winning concept that can be identified. And the next one, I am combining a concept of D with respect to concept of F. I am joining or merging concept D and F in order to eliminate the worse than rating. Okay. Obviously, concept F has got 2 worse than rating. I hope it is ease of handling and ease manufacturing ease of manufacture. So this should be eliminated such that I am combining the neutral one, combining the reference one D and F. I am making changes in the existing design. I am providing the new winning combined concepts. So the next one, defining the winning concept. What is that? Revise. The term revise. I am revising it. The concept G scored well, but ease of handling was a problem. Therefore, revise. That is concept G, ease of handling. It showed one negative aspect in handling the syringe. So we are revising the G. We are making out certain changes in the existing design. That motion is transmitted from the dial knob to the ledge screw. We are making over certain changes. Okay. So these are all the inputs to the scoring stage. So this is newly generated. Now we are identifying this as concept G plus instead of concept G and named it as dial screw plus. Okay. Initially, I hope it is just a dial screw. Now it is dial screw plus. And meanwhile, D and F, plug stop and lever set. There can be plug stop and lever set. It is combined together and it is named as concept DF. It is named as lever stop. Instead of plug stop and lever set, it is lever stop. A new concept. Eliminating the negative aspect over it is. Okay. Now we will witness how the concept scoring matrix or scoring table is to be made. Okay. So similarly, the various selection criteria, the major 7 selection criterion has been taken. Okay. And here, the concept variants, I am eliminating the overall from the 7. The most promising 4 concept is being selected. The first rank A, master cylinder, which is being taken as the reference because it does not possess any negative aspect towards this. It possessed 2 positive, 2 better than scoring, and the remaining everything is neutral, 0 scoring. So we are identifying this as reference because it possesses most of the attributes of selection criteria as the positive one. Meanwhile, understand that one of the important concern in concept scoring is this reference while providing the rating of 1 to 5. Okay, if the maximum rating is not for the corresponding reference concept and if it is with some other concept, we can look after that concept as a reference one. Okay. I will brief this out while explaining it in the stage itself, in the scoring stage. Okay. Okay. So this is the template. And here, first thing, as I said, we are going to add the weight percentage. To what extent, to what percentage it is, this selection criterion is important in customer's perspective, in customer's point of view. If you are a customer, as I said, camera quality is 30% for me, battery is 50% for me. Obviously, it varies from one customer towards another customer. But here, put together while making a consolidation, how we are going to weight it based on customers' needs. Okay, weightage should be added. And here, rating of 1 to 5. Okay, customers rating for this specific concept with respect to the selection criterion. Okay, considering the reference, I'm rating it just like a screening stage, either positive, negative, or 0. Here, in terms of 1 to 5, we have to rate it. Calculate the weightage score. Weightage score is the product of the percentage with respect to the weighting. That is weightage score. Then sum up this weightage score, provide the ranking, identify the most promising concept. Okay. Now we'll move on to the first step in concept scoring, that is adding the weight. So here consider the maximum weightage is provided for dose metering accuracy because that is identified as one of the important potential problem by the product development team. I am providing it as 25% important weightage that is added for dose metering accuracy. Okay. And the remaining manufacturing is how easily it is manufactured, 20%. And 15% for load handling, durability, build quality, and the usage of use, that is injection, cleaning, and so on. And the handling is dosage, how the dosage has been injected. Okay. That is weightage is 5%. So you have to add the weightage for the whole scale of 100%. Okay. Dividing the 100% into each and every individual selection criteria. Okay. Now look for the ratings. Okay. Ratings are, as I said, it should vary between 1 to 5. Here, one very worst performance, much worse performance is not provided to any different selection criterion for any concept, I hope, because already these are most promising concept. So the rating varies from 2 and the maximum is 5. Okay. So now consider for ease of handling for a master cylinder, the rating ease of handling for the master cylinder, you are about to provide the rating of 3. Okay. For ease of use, you are about to provide the rating of 3. For number readability, it is 2. For dose metering accuracy, it is 3. For load handling, it is 2. Manufacturing is, it is 3. Portability, it is 3. Okay. So now you consider the DF, the lever stop. Again, the rating to be provided in the scale of 1 to 5. For swash ring, again, the rating has to be provided. For dial screw, again, the rating has to be provided. Okay. Now we may, so here, as I indicated, the rating of, since this can be taken as a reference, that is a master cylinder A has to be taken as a reference because it provides the maximum attributes as the positive one in the previous stage. So here I am just evaluating the selection criterion and I am thinking the functionalities of master cylinder. So we are just providing the ratings. But here for number readability, a master cylinder provides the rating of 2. Okay. And for lever stop, it is 3. It is found to be good in the lever stop when compared with the master cylinder. So this can be acted as a reference for the remaining aspect. Similarly, for load handling, G plus is found to be good. The lid screw and dial knob mechanism is found to be good. So here I can choose this as a rating. Okay, when compared with the reference one. Okay. So similarly, the weightage score, how I am going to calculate this weightage score? Weightage score is nothing but the product of say 5 by 100 into 3. I am going to calculate it 15, 0.45, 0.2, 0.75, 0.3, 0.6, and 0.3. Just the product of converting the percentage into with the product of rating, I am getting the weighted score of the master cylinder. Meanwhile, doing this for remaining DF concept, E concept, and G plus concept. Okay. Now, if you could calculate the total score of this weighted score, I have to calculate the sum of weighted score. I am getting what 2.75, 3.45 3.10 and 3.05. Now provide ranking with respect to this total score. Ranking, now you can witness DF, the lever stop, got the first rank, and meanwhile the swash ring with 3.10 second. Now you can see that master cylinder has arrived at a least rank when compared with the combined DF, improved G plus, and the E swash ring, which has been chosen as a unique concept. Okay, so now this based on the result. Okay, now let us look upon, take the decision in what to select which most promising concept. So the concept of DF is selected for further development, that is for the next further stages. Okay, since DF is found to be a promising concept with respect to the corresponding selection criteria. Okay, so as I said, DF is found to be a final winning concept in our example, in considering our own example. And here we are supposed to focus on few things like being in a product development team. We should not focus on simply select the concept which has the highest rating and has the first rank. Always we must do that, as I said, sensitivity study. Look for uncertainties. What are all the our FMEA, look for potential failures. Discuss the relative weightage of relative rating of each and every aspect over the winning concept. The PD team must always check whether any such uncertainty about a particular value will have a maximum impact over the final winning concept. So the team might have decided to go with any one or two concept. Here, if you are saying they can either go with the DF concept alone, or they can take over the lever stop and E concept, swash ring. The first two most promising can be sent to the next stage of prototyping and testing. Okay, and then it can also be sent for the pilot production and the customer feedbacks. Okay, hope you understood. Now just take over this example. I have provided a template previously. I have also mentioned a few brands of example that is of mobile phone. Okay, you can choose some of it, either it is OnePlus, Oppo, Honor, Redmi, Realme, Samsung, Vivo, or any other such brands. If you are using, that is why I am taking this as an example. Is obviously you might have come across different mobile phones as of now. We are even though the mobile is durable, obviously we are not patient enough to use a mobile without its upgrade. Whenever it has been upgraded, and we are downgrading the mobile to our elders, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, we are just gifting them like a god, obviously. But anyway, we'll consider this as an example because I hope we possess some experiences in identifying the differences. Meanwhile, you can select any such example. Meanwhile, the wonderful examples arrived at in FMEA. You can use sanitizer, you can use a fan, you can use kind of thing, your bicycle, your automobile, your two-wheelers. You can take any example, but there should be one functionality or one outcome, and that outcome should be focused with varying different concept. Similarly, you can consider different automobile. Okay, considering the fuel efficiency, I can go behind Ford, I can go behind Maruti Suzuki, I can go behind some other Tata, some other element. Okay, some other different brands. It's not just like a brand. You have to focus on how various concept is being used in such example. Now I request you to upload such activity, okay, towards the end of this session, and you may also practice this interactively. You may have another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, that is initial concept screening. I hope you have made this, you have drawn this table which is displaying, which is exhibiting concept variants and the selection criteria. Here I have taken, as I said, Redmi, Honor, Oppo, OnePlus, Vivo, Samsung, and Realme as a 6 different concept variant with respect to few selection criteria. This is just my own experience. You can have your own selection criteria. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's just a practice selection criterion based on most of the features. Okay, obviously most of the customer nowadays look for excellent camera features, camera clarity. It's not about, if I say how do you define a camera quality as one of the selection criteria. If you are very aware that, you won't say it is around 20 pixel, 20 megapixel, 13 megapixel, 28 megapixel. It's not the megapixel that is going to define the camera clarity or quality of the images which you take. It is again the inbuilt hardware and how the software is synchronized with this hardware. Either any special sensors, night vision sensors has been made, Sony sensors are utilized. Okay, it is about sensors. Apple is not going behind the count of megapixels to displace their market. Meanwhile, they produce good, wonderful quality pictures. Okay, so you have to look ahead the selection criteria of each and every individual thing. Consider the case of example of mobile phone, excellent camera option. Obviously, one of the important criteria, whether me, everyone will have in the scoring stage will provide the maximum percentage towards this second criteria, which is multitasking performance. Then much needed battery backup. One of the important trade-off, battery backup. If it is 5000 mAh battery, obviously it is 180 grams, 150 grams, considering the enclosure, considering among with the Gorilla Glass, among with the tempered glass which we make. I have to carry like minimum of 160 to 200 grams in my hand always, if it is more than 5000 mAh. So meanwhile, it should provide maximum hours of battery battery backup. Meanwhile, the minimal amount of lesser weight it should be. So what are all the technology they are going to focus upon? So here, the trade-off should be made of. It is not just a 5000 mAh or a 6000 mAh or a continuous 20 hours of battery. It's not such thing. A proper trade-off should be mentioned here, minimal amount of weight, because another one such expectation we are going to make here is like sleek design, how slim it is. Obviously, we are not trying hard to get a slim enough. Meanwhile, here we are expecting our gadget to be very slim, very sleek. Okay, sleek design. FHD, either full HD or quad HD display experience. We initially we seek for AMOLED display, something we used to call. Okay, after Samsung replaced it is like HD kind of thing. Later it is full HD. Now quad HD. We are not satisfied with the LCD. The so long just it is a LCD or LED. We need high amount of wonderful display, wonderful graphic experience. Okay, I have neglected the processor since it is considered as an important, some vital functionalities in this component, in this example, in this segment. Okay, I have just mentioned durability, which is a build quality. We are not seeking durability here. The company may make a promise of 5 years for a mobile phone, approximately 4.5 years, but we are not using such long with the single mobile phone. I believe that if we are taking an average, honestly, if you are using it for more than 2 years, seriously, you are a good consumer, good user, I could say. Okay, it is again what we identify as customer expectation, customer preferences. It changes. Even though the mobile is good, even though it is working fine, we are not happy with this because the market exceeds so long in all the aspect of various criterion which we see here. Meanwhile, security, one of the important option, one of the important criterion which we never we never fail to look upon. Actually, we fail to look upon. We are not very much aware of how secure various apps are, how secure our mobile is with our own personal information, personal data. We keep advertising so much of activities in mobile phone. Okay, that is fine. That is different segment. We don't want to push more on this. This is just an example how the various selection criterion is being selected. Now, I am focusing to my knowledge, to my extent. I am just carrying over a market segment of 15K or 20K, 15 to 20K mobile phone. I am taking OnePlus as a reference. In comparing, you may have many depths in this. That is, you may have some other thinking over it, but that is fine. That is good. I welcome you. You can take some other reference, some other example, not this mobile phone, to do this concept screening and concept selection activity. Okay, you take something as reference. Okay, it is just an example. I have just it is editing over the already made table. You can see that reference over here, separate reference. Reference cannot be the various concept. It can also be a separate something that cannot be included in our selection process, selection activity. You can do that also, because previously we have seen the concept D or concept E, which acts as a reference. No, a reference can be a separate thing. Here, I may completely exclude this 1 plus segment in my concept selection process. It can be as a, it can act as a reference. So as a whole, I may have 6 different concepts. From that 6, with respect to the selection criteria, how I am going to rank it, either positive, how Redmi is going to provide its camera function with respect to 1 plus, either positive, negative, or 0. Don't look behind the price segment. Okay. Similarly, consider the syringe. There may be plenty of price segment. It is not about plenty of. It is not about price segment. You fix yourself with some price segment. It is just an exercise. Okay. I expect something, some other example. You can provide any different example. Provide some selection criteria. Provide some different variants of concept which has been used in order to some either 1 or 2 or some outcomes. Like a mobile phone, we have some similar outcomes, making a communication, utilizing high-speed internet, surfing it, and gaming, and other aspect, many different using out many different applications, and that can also be correlated for specific activity alone. Here we can't segregate that most of us, which satisfies us. Okay. I expect everyone to do this, and as a quick summary, the concept selection and the concept scoring, and the important caveats which we are going to learn in this, like as I said earlier, the goal of concept selection is not to select the best concept. Again, if you look upon, okay, we will select the best one. Okay, it is not like selecting the best concept. It is goal is to create and develop the best concept. It is develop it. It is continuous improvement process, continuous iteration is being carried out. Okay. Here, our focus is to we must always try to combine. We must always try to improve. It is not just rejecting it based on the ranks which has been provided by us. Okay, we must aspire for developing a better concept. The product development team should be always focusing on developing and revamping activities, do retrofitting activities in order to combine 2 different concepts together. Okay, they should be aware of selecting the average product, best average product. We have to focus. Okay, we are not very lenient upon taking out the average product, such that we expect that product, which we expect such concept to provide most promising, wonderful results. That's not feasible. That's not possible. Such that they have to do sensitivity analysis. They have to work on sensitivity analysis. Okay. So here we can also perform the concept selection for different customer segment, different customer group, and compare the results, compare the weighted result. Okay. Similar thing you can do. Consider the same example, mobile phone. You can divide it in the form of consumer segment, customer segment, customers group. Then you can provide some other results, some other concept found to be a feasible one when comparing with, because our objective matters and the outcome which we expect matters. Okay. Meanwhile, the sensitivity analysis, sensitivity of selecting the importance weightage to the concept. For each and every selection criteria, it possesses some important weighting and some uncertain rating to be checked, whether some uncertain ratings to be provided based on our experience, our perception. It should be carefully defined. Okay. Finally, the full set of detailed requirements which has been sent to the next phase of concept development process. Okay, after selecting the concept.